guys? Uh, it's been a long time since I put a video out. I think the last one was like, I don't know, August or September. Uh, basically, a decent amount's changed since then. Basically, first, I don't even know if you can see right now. I don't know how well this is really my first time doing much recording at night, so I don't know if you can see it all. But, oops, and no, my key. But, I don't know if you recall. Well, first off, um, no, like I said, my last video was like October, something like that. I don't remember. Had one more video I never uploaded. Basically, just school, work kind of got the better of me, and one thing I did, I lost my microphone for a while. So it's really when I lost my microphone. Then I found it, but that's when I kind of, after I lost it, I just kind of forgot to do anything with it. Anyway, few updates, obviously, since it's like what 6 months something later. I don't know. I don't feel like doing the math. Right now I'm just kind of going out, and it's 10 o'clock at night. Gonna go out, run to Walmart, grab some new headphones, and kind of cruise a little bit. But anyway, some updates. If you recall from the video I made on my ruckus, I mentioned that I was gonna be going to university, moving and everything, getting a house with some friends, which I did all that. So right now I'm in Cedar Falls. It's about 3 hours from my home. And one thing you might be able to tell is that yes, I have a new bike. I've actually had a couple new bikes. What happened was that ZZR I had, I'm a bit of a asshole when it comes to buying and selling stuff. I mean, I don't sell people junk, but I mean, I don't buy stuff unless I can make money off it. But anyway, I figure it should be worth mentioning though. I sold my ZZR. I bought that ZZR for $3,500 with 3,300 miles on it, and then I rode it. I never put any money into it aside from an oil change. I rode it until November, late November, and I had it listed. I didn't think it would sell, and someone came and bought it for $4,000. So I was like, all right, sweet. And I started looking for a new bike. I was wanting an FZ6. Or an F4i. I was really wanting to go fuel injection, and I love my ZZR, but anyway, I found an FZ6 in January when I'd moved up here. I found one like an hour away, and I was all gung ho to go get it. Oh, wait a minute. Do I have my wallet? Yeah. Okay. Uh, I was all gung ho to get it, and the guy sold it the day before I was gonna go get it. So I was like, huh. I started looking for bikes, and that night, then I found another ZZR, same year, same color, everything. Like it was an identical to mine, except mine had some few scuffs from being lightly dropped. This one had nothing, and only had 900 miles on it. I sold mine for 5,400 miles on it. And the best part, this guy was asking $4,200, and I bought it for $3,500. So I paid $3,500 for a 900-mile ZZR. It did have some electrical crap, like all around here. He put aftermarket mirrors on it with integrated turn signals, and he didn't even wire them. Well, he wired them, but he just twisted the copper, and the copper was just hanging out all over, and he didn't cut down the wiring. Like, I had about 4 feet of wiring hanging down, wrapped around the forks and stuff. Like, it was a nightmare. Tail light worked when it wanted to. I went through it, and I redid the wiring. I mean, I spent like $20. That's just on heat shrink. I had to buy a lighter because I didn't have one, electrical tape, and then when I was home, I took it back apart and then I soldered it. Because I rode it a few times between, the 3 hours back home and 3 hours back up. That's where my tools are, but back home. So anyway, I didn't expect it to sell either, but I figured, I only had 1,500 miles on it, at the time, and threw it up on Craigslist I was asking $5,300, and what do you know, I sold it for $5,000. And that was about 3 weeks ago. I sold it for $5,000, a little over, maybe 3 weeks or maybe 3.5. I don't know. I can't really say. I can't remember. So I sold it for $5,000. I was fucking, I was, I was so happy. Funny thing is, loading it on the trailer, I dropped it out, loading it into his truck. I dropped it off the bed of the truck because he'd never ridden a bike before, and I told him I really didn't want to do it because his truck was lifted and it didn't look like it would clear I didn't know that it wouldn't clear. It just looked unsafe. You know, it was a really steep ramp, and you know, I just was afraid I was gonna fall off while riding it up. Well, what happened was the bottom of it caught on the bed of his truck because the bike was lowered 2 inches, but his truck was massively lifted, and the ramps were just almost straight up and down. You know, I should have known better, but the bike fell off. I fell onto the ground, and the bike fell on top of me. I didn't really get hurt aside from the scuffs, and I was a little bit wind knocked out of me, but it ended up having a few scratches after that, which it was meant before. But you know, we were just like, well, he's like, well, you know, whatever. You know, he's like, kind of my fault, so as in his fault, you know, not mine. So you know, he still gave me the money and everything. He took it. I mean, it only had a couple scratches after that. It really lucked out considering how bad I fell off and everything, you know. So anyway, but here's the best part of my story, my update. I go the next day, and I drive about an hour and a half, and because I found a 2007 Kawasaki ZX6R, you know, Kawasaki Ninja ZX6R for, he was asking 56, I think, and I don't know, 57, and I got him down to 5,000 for it, and it was only had 1,000 miles on it, so it's basically like my ZZR. I literally traded my ZZR for, you know, an '07 ZX6R. That's actually my favorite ZX6R. Like, I really like them. I love it just looks sleek. Most people don't like them, but you know, I loved it. They're actually one of the I can't even talk. One of the really track-oriented bikes. Like, they're really high revving and stuff. But anyway, you know, it was red, and 2 days later, I'm going through an intersection, not any bigger than this one right here. In fact, the intersection's like, I could have gone there, and I should have show you. I might do later in the video, but like the intersection just this big. I was like right here. I'll tell you when I was here. I was right like here, doing about 30 miles an hour, and right here, this guy pulls out and does a left turn in front of me. And it was raining. You know, he claimed he didn't see me, which, you know, he just probably wasn't paying attention. But he stopped. You know, he admitted guilt and everything. Well, obviously it made me wreck. I guess I didn't even mention the wreck. I didn't wreck into him. I just grabbed a handful of brake and then laid it down. You know, I knew I was going to lay it down. It was just a matter of laying it down and not plowing into him. It only had some cosmetic issues. You know, it was mostly just left side fairing. I mean, I could have fixed the whole bike and made it look near mint again for $1,000. But you know, there was a lot of little things like shifter. It got a little tiny scuff in the tank, and that was factored in on insurance. You know. And yeah, so that ended up. First they said it was gonna be $2,600 to fix it, which that wasn't totaling it. So I took it to the dealer, and I was like, all right, you know, let's get it fixed. And they called me back a few days later, and they're like, you know, dude, this thing we have it estimated at $4,600. So I was like, oh shit, you know. And so I called State Farm, and they're like, all right, we'll send another appraiser over there to appraise it with them, because their appraiser, I mean, he just kind of looked at, you know, what he knew. I mean, that's the thing with insurance companies. They don't know motorcycles like they know cars, so they more have to rely on an actual dealer to give them their info. But anyway, so it gets appraised over there, and they agree, and they totaled it. Now get this. I was expecting to negotiate up, because I wasn't going to take only $5,000 for it. I mean, I wasn't going to be able to find another one for $5,000, you know? Another one with that low miles and everything. And, it booked at $6,200, but that's considering it has more miles too. So I looked up everything, you know, I could find to find the actual market value of it. I didn't even have to do that. The guy calls me back and he's like, "Well, you know, we totaled the bike, and I looked around because of the low miles." He's like, "I saw it had only 1,300 miles on it when it actually got wrecked," and he's like, I looked around to try to find another one of that low miles, and the cheapest one I can find is like 69. He's like, the other ones are all around like 73 and stuff. So they gave me $7,200. Didn't have to negotiate at all. I made $2,200 off that bike from wrecking it. You know, and it was through other guys' insurance, so it didn't affect me at all. So after they gave me the check, which was not this last week, the week before last, not last week, but the week before last. They gave me the check, and I found this. I was actually trying to get a Honda VFR. Yeah, it was slower and everything, but it kind of suited more my riding style. But I found this 2007 Kawasaki Ninja ZX10R. Uh, it's red. It's literally a twin of my wrecked ZX6R, except 400 more cc's. And I found it. It only had 1,600 miles on it. The guy was asking 65, and I got him down to 62. And then I went there and saw the tires were completely, well, the rear was completely shot. The front one was like cupped really bad. So I got him down another $200. So 6,000 bucks. He was the original owner. He just never rode it. He had 2 Harleys. He was like, I just want to try a sport bike, He's like, I didn't like it. It's just been sitting. And he got tired of paying insurance and stuff on it. So sold it to me really cheap. I mean, I got a good deal. I put new tires on it, and I actually just got the bike back today. Today's actually really only the 3rd day I've ever ridden this bike, because all of last week it was sitting at the shop waiting for the new tires to come in. So, and then when I went, because that was back in where I'm from, so I had to go back this weekend. I went back and I left my car there, and I brought this up because it's nice all weekend. Like right now, it's it's nighttime and it's like 72 degrees. So nice. Oh, I'm loving being warm again. But anyway, no, I love it. I love this bike, and I'm glad. I don't really miss the ZX6R for the little bit of time I rode it, because the thing is, back when I had my first bike, my Suzuki Katana, and before I bought my first ZZR, I rode my buddy's 2006 ZX10R. Same thing as this, and I loved it. Like, it was so comfortable, and that's why I wanted a 2007 ZX6R, because the 2007, 2008, that's the same body style that came from this, like 2006, 2007. If you look at a 2006 to 2007 ZX10R and a 2007, 2008 ZX6R, you can see that was like the shared generation of kind of the look, And I figured because of that, I would be just as comfortable as on a ZX6R of that year as I was on his ZX10R, and that was not the case. It was like full. I was like this, It sucked. I was really not comfortable. I love the bike though. Don't get me wrong. I would have ridden it for a long time. I would have gotten used to it. I was just gonna put some Healy bars on it, or something to raise the bars a little bit. But I mean, other than that, it was a nice bike. But this thing, like, oh, it's just, I don't know why I'm so comfortable on it. Maybe it's because I'm fat. I don't know. Shit. It's literally ridiculously comfortable. I don't get aches from riding. Like right now, I'm sitting straight up and down almost. Of course, I'm doing the one-arm thing, but I can do the one-arm thing on this bike really good. I really couldn't on the ZX6R. I mean, I could, but it wasn't comfortable. And even when I'm all the way, when I've got both down, I'm comfortable on this thing. And I don't know why. When I look at it, I don't see a whole lot of difference aside from being maybe a little bit longer. And if anything, I'm 5'9", and I'm kind of on a short side where I would think that I wouldn't like a longer bike, but who knows? No, I love this bike. I mean, it's seriously comfortable. What a gangster. Oh, it's awesome. But anyway, so yeah, I have a ZX10R now, and then also last week I sold my Ruckus, my 2007 Honda Ruckus. I bought it for $1,200 with 1,600 miles on it. I sold it with 4,700 miles on it, and I tore the hell out of the thing. I off-roaded it and everything. And I was completely honest about it in the for sale ad. I had my off-road pictures and stuff. I didn't expect to sell it. It was up for like a month, and I almost forgot I even had it listed. I just threw it up to throw it up. I was like, whatever, I'll do it. If someone wants to buy it, they can buy it. And sure enough, some guy comes and gives me 1,800 bucks for it. So then last Thursday, I bought, and then I picked it up Saturday, a 2009 Honda Ruckus with only 1,600 miles on it. Perfect condition. Well, it actually, for the last 3 years, they only put 100 miles on it, so the carburetor got gummed up. So I cleaned the carb yesterday, and now it runs really good. It's back at my main home, my real home though, in Burlington. So I don't have it up here in my college town, university town, whatever. But yeah, so I've made like $2,800 lately, which I spent like turn signals on. I spent like $500 on this thing right away. Not just on this thing. I bought a set of a set of pullover Icon pants, which I have to return. They don't fit, so I'm being a squid in regular jeans right now. I ordered these pants, and they're my size and everything. They fit good, but uh, they're like a foot too long for me. It's retarded. Like I'm 5'9", you know, that's not too ridiculous. I don't even know why I parked over here. This is not even the side I wanted to go in. But yeah.